think I just added a Euro step to my jabbing. It's like with the left. You know what I mean? And my strong hand is my right, but I like using the left. I feel like I throw them off a little bit. What the hell's going on, Laker fans? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Have an impressive win tonight. Not going to lie. Lakers over the Pelicans. 139 to 122. Solid win for the Lakers. They got a couple games left here before the All-Star break, and needless to say, they've won 4 of 5. They can do some impressive stuff here over these last couple games, or they could be the Lakers and not do impressive stuff and just find a way to tease everybody and then go back to what they've been all season long. We can let some people come in here. Okay, a couple reminders just to kind of give everyone a heads up what we got going on tonight. Let me make sure audio we're good. We got a lot of topics to get into. So I'm going to kind of lay through some of the topics that we have for tonight. If you want to be a part of the show, feel free to join. Hit me up on the comments. Sammy, the intern, is back tonight. So Sammy, if you guys remember, he worked Wednesday's show, and then he basically took like 2 weeks off because he said, that's enough. I did what I need to accomplish, but he's back tonight. So Sammy is back, so he's going to be helping me with the comments in the background. For those who don't know, Sammy is an intern from San Diego State that's working in the background here and rolling up his sleeves and going to work. We got a lot to get into. Lakers starters, 119 total, second in franchise history. 0 defense from both teams. Lakers scored 87 points in the first half. You want to see, obviously more defense from the Lakers. Is DLo proving the critics wrong? Lakers 0-5 when he does not play. We'll spend some time talking about D'Angelo Russell. I mentioned Lakers have won 4 of their last 5. Kind of got to win these next 2. If you can win these next 2, that's 6 of 7 before you go into the break. Latest on the standings we're going to get into. What effect would Spencer Dinwiddie have if he joins the Lakers? We're going to do that as well. And then we'll probably talk very little about the Lakers and the Pistons, but that's the next game that the Lakers got coming up. So it's a full slate here. Let me just get right into the game here real quick. 139 to 122. I think part of the positives tonight is just kind of looking at the last 2 games. Last night was a real game. Lakers had a chance to beat the Denver Nuggets. And, I was on here talking with you guys about, and I was doing it this morning and at the pregame show. It's very, very difficult to try to beat the Denver Nuggets when you're at full strength. Well, it's very difficult if you don't have a key piece of the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell. For what he's been doing these last 30 days, he's an incredible, a critical piece to the Lakers. So you don't have him yesterday. You didn't have Max Christie. He left the game. You're obviously missing Vando Kim. You had to play basically flawless against Denver. All right, a couple minutes left to go in the game. The game was tied. Lakers had a chance to win that thing, and then give Denver all the credit in the world. Jamal Murray hits a 3, then he hits a bucket, a floater, and then Jokic has that incredible pass to Michael Porter Jr., and in a span of, it felt like 30 seconds, Denver was up 8. They ended up winning the game by 8. But it wasn't a blowout. Lakers were kind of blow for blow against Denver, playing an uphill battle the entire game. They came in against the Pelicans tonight with they were the aggressors, if you want to call it. They set the tone, however you want to describe it. But when the game started tonight, even in pregame, Darvin Ham kept emphasizing how important it was going to be to jump all over the Pelicans early on, and the Lakers did that. Now, end of the first quarter, they're down 3, but second quarter, this is just kind of an incredible quarter. I don't ever remember in all my years watching Lakers basketball, and I just could be wrong here, and who knows, maybe it happened recently, and I just have no idea. But literally in all my years, I genuinely do not remember a time where the Lakers had 51 points in a quarter. 51 points in the second quarter. So there's a lot that we can kind of highlight, but I think ultimately for me, the one thing that stands out more than anything else, it's 51 points in a quarter, 87 points in the first half. And I think, obviously the good news for the Lakers, I think the only thing that really mattered was they at least got to set the tone, and it felt like they were in control of this game the entire time. New Orleans made a run, got it all the way, I want to say, down to 4 at some point in the second half. But it was the Pelicans that was chasing the entire game. It was the Lakers that, like I mentioned. Excuse me, guys. Bless me. Go ahead. Put it in the comments. Say, bless you, Al. I hope you and your family are okay. Put it in the comments. No, but I think they definitely set the tone, and it was New Orleans that at one point cut it down to 4, but Lakers would take it back up to 7 to 9, and the next thing you know, they're up 12 again. I felt like they controlled the entire game, and anytime the Pelicans would make a run, Lakers were going to respond with a run. And give the Pelicans credit. I mean, they got some ballers on that side. One of the better games I've seen Zion played where he had 30 points along with his 9 rebounds and 5 assists. B.I. is a smooth player, 22, 7, and 7. McCollum gave you 19. So all their starters were in double figures, but their starters were no match against the Lakers. And at least for me, as I look at this game, it's not ideal from a defensive perspective, but damn, a second of a night tonight, you put up 139. You have quarters where you put up 36 and 51. Now, it kind of slowed down there in the third and the fourth quarter, 28 and 24, but they still won the second half by 4 on top of whatever they did in the first half. The real story tonight is the starters. I mean, just incredible numbers from the Lakers starters tonight. I think so. I saw this because it was on Spectrum. It's the second most points by Lakers starters in franchise history, and the only one more than that is 120 total. But look at this from the Lakers starters. I'm just going to go from top all the way down to the bottom. AD had 20 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. Rui Hachimura had 21 points, 5 rebounds. LeBron had 21 points, 14 rebounds. D'Angelo had 30 points and 5 assists. And Austin Reeves had 27 points and 4 assists. So let me get this right here. D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves combined for 57 points for the Lakers. They're not going to lose many games if that's the case. I know that's not always going to be the case, but that's incredibly impressive. Okay, let me understand this again. So between D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, let's see, 57, 67, 77, 78 points between Rui, DLo, and Austin Reeves. That's incredible. That's incredible. And what's crazy, and I'm going to get a little bit more into D'Angelo Russell a little bit later in the show, but what's crazy to me on the D'Angelo Russell front, that's a few games here, a few handful of games where he's leading the Lakers in scoring, where DLo is the one that is kind of setting the tone for the Lakers. I mean, that's not something that I've seen very often or that I'm accustomed to or any of that stuff. I mean, I find that incredibly impressive from D'Angelo's perspective, but just the starters as a whole. How good did it feel to see Rui have a game where he looked effective? I heard Anthony Davis say something to the effect, and I don't know the full details of it, but he said something to the effect that they had he only had 2 points yesterday. I think that was his total yesterday, and kind of that they got after him for last night's game. And he said, and tonight he responded. Rui was 9 of 13, ended up playing 37 minutes. So nobody, no Laker fans can sit back and say, well, coach didn't give him enough opportunity. None of that happened. And ultimately, like I mentioned, Rui, that's got to be really, really big for him to have the 21 points. And DLo, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura combining for 78 points. That's insane. Okay, let's get to some of these comments here. See what you guys got going on here. In 2010, Lakers versus Celtics Game 7, score was 83-79. In 2024, the Lakers scored 85 points in the first half. Holy smokes, the evolution of the game. Might have even been more. What did I say? It was 87 in the first half. 87 in the first half, brother. That's insane. And you're right. I mean, the point that you're trying to make is, obviously there was an era of basketball where it was very common to score 90 points. And the Lakers tonight, 87 points in that first half. And everybody remembers that Lakers-Celtics game. That was a slugfest. Okay. See what else we got here. Interesting perspective here. Undefeated with Sammy. This one's a little shady. So, like I said, Sammy is interning here for Hoops Talk. He's a student over at San Diego State University. He's getting some school credit and trying to teach him a thing or two. He's probably not learning anything. I'm sure he's going to go back to SDSU and say, guys, I got to be honest. I feel less smart doing this show with Al. But Ross 834 is pointing out that in the 2 games Sammy has done, well, technically this is the only game that he's done because the other one was just like a free agency or a trade deadline show, that he's undefeated with Sammy. Okay, it's good perspective here. All right, let's see some more of these. 2 points away from the Lakers record in the first half. That's right. It's 89 is the record. Sliwa's flu show. Listen, I sneeze, but I don't go anywhere. I'm still here. I come right back, even afterwards. Okay. Let me just point this out because I do want to get into D'Angelo Russell. Let me point this one out here real quick. 0 defense tonight from both teams. I think, we talked a little bit about it. It's not an ideal for the Lakers defensively, but if you can have this type of an offensive night, it's not always going to happen. 3-point shooting for the Lakers, they shot 45%. Okay, that's not always going to happen. Their field goal percentage was just under 56%. That's obviously not going to happen every single night. I would like them to depend more on their defense, and nights that they just have great offense, you take it and run. Turnovers, very low total for the Lakers. Again, just 8. I mean, the Lakers, I don't know what's going on with protecting the ball, but I feel like they've been incredibly responsible off turnovers. Points off turnovers, Lakers outscored the Pelicans 21-10. See what else we got here. Free throws, the Lakers always dominate, 27 of 32. They shot 9 more free throws than the Pelicans, but I would just say this. I go back to this. 122 is more than I'd like to see the Lakers have, but because they were balling, I mean, how many different times during the broadcast with Billy Mack and Stu did you just keep hearing them say, well, there's just no defense being played at all, and it was on both sides. So that's the only thing that I would be critical about in tonight's game, but I think I'm probably reaching a little bit. I would prefer that the Lakers allow their defense to be, certainly. I would certainly be more comfortable if the Lakers had more going on the defensive side. Okay, a couple more of these comments I want to get into D'Lo. Everybody talking about Dinwiddie Sam VIP seats along with Rob Pelinka, his agent, and Rob Pelinka. I'm going to get into Dinwiddie, but I'm going to do it a little bit later in the show. Dinwiddie would be a nice pickup. So I'm going to do that a little bit later, so don't worry about that. Dinwiddie was all over TV. Okay, I'm going to star that one. We'll go from there. Okay, next topic to get into. Is D'Lo proving the critics wrong? Lakers, by the way, I pulled the stat from Spectrum Sportsnet when it was happening. Lakers 0-5 when he does not play. So the Lakers 0-5 when D'Angelo Russell does not play. is D'Lo proving a lot of those critics wrong. Look, I'm one of those critics. I'm happy to put my hands up. I think you can't hide what D'Lo's been doing. Coming into tonight's game, in his last 16 games, D'Angelo Russell was averaging 22 points and six assists a game for the Lakers. His shot percentage was incredibly high. And that's a 16-game span where the Lakers were 10-6 when he was in those 16 games where he was playing well. Then I start paying more attention to, I just kind of look at it, right? I look at, well, what's D'Lo's efficiency tonight? He hit 6 threes and went through a stretch. He hit 14 points in a row. That's the other thing with D'Lo. When he gets on a heater, it's a kind of an unconscious heater. It's, I don't need to be set. I don't need to be a set shooter. I just got to give me the ball and I'm just going in one rhythm and I'm letting the ball fire off. I'm not comparing him to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. I'm not. But when guys get in a zone, they don't need the perfect setup. They just need there's such a feel for the game. And it looks so effortless that when guys are on a heater, like D'Lo was tonight when he had those 14 straight points, he had a couple different times where he just had this burst for the Lakers that was so critical and is going to be so critical for the Lakers moving forward. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, but he's a game changer when he's playing well for the Lakers. And then it really hurts the Lakers when he's not playing well. That's how important of a player he is to the Lakers. And again, I like doing this. I have no problem criticizing myself of critiquing a player, and all of a sudden he's, what he's done in these last 30 days has been really, really impressive. Maybe the Lakers, and I mentioned this before, and I don't actually believe it, but maybe hypothetically, they did not go out there and trade for DeJounte Murray because they thought, all right, how much better is DeJounte Murray than D'Angelo if D'Angelo is playing at this level? Why don't we just wait till the offseason? Maybe that has something to do with it. If D'Lo was playing awful or really playing poorly over the last 30 days, maybe that would have changed their mind of what they felt like they had to do. But this is a very, very impressive stretch. I heard James Worthy talking about it, how he's so key to the Lakers when he's playing well. When he's effective, it takes them to another level. When he's effective, it's just so crucial for the Lakers' success. Let's put it this way. I think what I'm ultimately saying is if the Lakers are going to have any success the rest of the season and potentially in the playoffs, D'Lo is such an important piece that has to be there virtually every single night. I'm not telling you he's got to drop 30, but I'm telling you he's got to be effective and you got to feel his presence. He certainly did that tonight, and that's now 17 games where D'Angelo Russell has been really, really effective. Really effective. Okay. 0-5 when he does not play. That throws me off a little bit. All right, let me see some of these comments here. You could say this about literally any role player. I disagree, BC. I disagree that you could say this about any role player. The Lakers, if Rui Hachimura is not playing well, I still think they can win games. If Jared Vanderbilt's not playing well, they could still win games. If Cam Reddish is not playing well, they could still win games. If Taurean Prince is having a bad night, they can still win games. Really tough for the Lakers to win games when D'Lo is not effective. D'Angelo Russell's the one player that can do what he did tonight that no other role player on this team can. Austin Reeves can do it as well. Austin Reeves can have nights where he has, like tonight, he had 27. But D'Lo, it's a much more natural thing for him to be able to do it. So I do think that's a game changer. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Slee, you dropping 40 in a game. I'm gonna have 3 points because I hit a couple free throws and then there was an illegal defense, so then I got another free throw. I'm also gonna have I'm gonna have 2 rebounds and probably 6 turnovers. So 3 points, 2 rebounds, 6 turnovers. Probably about 14 minutes of play. So not exactly 40, but you see where I'm going here. Okay, let me find a couple more of these. Curious to see what some of the Laker fans are thinking about DLo. Impressive indeed, but would have been nice to see what DLo did against a good defense like Denver. DLo in the playoffs. We'll see. By the way, Leon, very fair. I got no issue with that. I think there's a lot of Laker fans that are always going to pump their brakes and say, DLo, awesome, but can we see you do it in the playoffs? I will tell you, and maybe this is helpful, maybe it's not. I think it does have an effect personally. Trade deadline's done. He does not have to worry about being traded. He knows he's going to be on this Lakers team the rest of the way. It seems like guys like LeBron, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, I think is his best friend on the team, that the main players are there to support him. Maybe just DLo needs some love. Everywhere he's played, it's like he's always worried about getting traded. Well, at least he knows on February 9th, he's not going anywhere the rest of the year. I wonder how much that has an effect. Let's see what else we got here. DLo more consistent than Reeves. Here's a good thing that, and I kind of get this a lot, that people kind of go back and forth on which player to complain about. They're both on the same team. I mean, how about we get both of them to play well? And that's what was kind of unique about tonight's game. DLo with 30, Austin Reeves with 27. That's very impressive. Very impressive. Was not expecting that. All right, let me see some more here. DLo and AR can be the next tag team duo who respects and plays well together. And here's the best part: they don't have to be your best players. They just have to be that second tier of players that play well. All right, some good comments here on all the DLo stuff. A lot of people want to talk Dinwiddie. A lot of people want to talk Dinwiddie. Okay, we got to do Dinwiddie next. Real quick, I do want to mention Underdog Fantasy, a proud partner of the show here on Hoops Talk. So let me share my screen with you guys here real quick. For those who like playing daily fantasy sports, I highly encourage you to play Underdog Fantasy. And I highly encourage you to use my code HoopsLA. If you can do that, Underdog Fantasy is going to match your first deposit of up to $100. Let me be very clear here. If you play daily fantasy sports, if you know what I'm talking about, there's obviously a lot of websites out there now that are in the mix. Underdog Fantasy supports this channel, and they'll match your first deposit of up to $100. If you're going to sign up for any of these daily fantasy sports platforms, please use Underdog Fantasy. Please use my code HoopsLA. Take advantage of that special offer right there. We're going to do NFL games because it's the Super Bowl, and why the hell would we not put the Super Bowl? And there's no games with the Lakers this weekend. I go pick'ems, I go pregame, I go NFL, and then this is the game. It's San Francisco versus KC. I already got the 2 picks here. I now just take whatever you guys tell me to do. Patrick Mahomes, higher or lower than 261.5 passing yards, and Christian McCaffrey, higher or lower than 92.5 rushing yards. So do me a favor on the chat. I'm going to pick one of these as we go. All you got to do is just tell me higher or lower, and I'm going to run with your picks. I forgot who picked last time, but I lost. So get your ish together because I'm not trying to lose again. All right, Patrick Mahomes, higher or lower than 261. Christian McCaffrey, higher or lower than 92.5. Just list them down there, and then I'll go back, take the comments, and I'll submit my pick. All right, appreciate that. Again, use that code HoopsLA if you do go on Underdog Fantasy. Cat. All right. Almost brought Sammy in here. Sammy, you can't come on yet, bro. We got a lot of work to do. Okay. Spencer Dinwiddie. By the way, I couldn't figure out effect or effect. I couldn't figure it out. I could be wrong. This could be the wrong version of it. Spencer Dinwiddie. Sammy, do me a favor. Star all Spencer Dinwiddie stuff right now, so then I could kind of go into all these comments. Everybody saw it. I mean, damn, that was clear as day. That was kind of a shock when I saw it on TV. I was just like, are they cutting into Rob Pelinka and Spencer Dinwiddie sitting right next to each other? I saw somebody else put, and I'm going to try to find the tweet here. Let me try. I think they said, who would they say? It was Jovan that I think put the tweet out, or at least asked the question. D'Angelo Russell said he's a fan of his former teammate Spencer Dinwiddie, and that y'all will get to know him soon. Okay. Well, the Lakers definitely aren't making any secrets about Spencer Dinwiddie. And, yep, this is basically whatever. DLo announced that he will get to know Spencer real soon. Okay. All right. Let me, I think it was yesterday that I was it yesterday? I think I sent a tweet out yesterday. Dave McMenamin had put out a tweet, or actually, no, this was it. The trade went down, and Spencer Dinwiddie, there was chatter once he went to Toronto that he was going to get bought out. And I think I sent a tweet, would love to see Dinwiddie on the Lakers. And some people I think were critical about it. I saw Dave McMenamin put out a tweet yesterday as well, talking about how that he may it's coming down to a couple teams, the Lakers and the Mavs, and Lakers got a strong chance of bringing him in. And then also yesterday, Rob Pelinka was talking, and he mentioned they were going to address the buyout market. One of my questions to Rob was, what type of player are you looking for? And he said our top priority is going to be a backup point guard. So Spencer Dinwiddie would certainly fill that void, would fill that role. He's a bucket getter too. You know, Dinwiddie's been in the league for a long time. How long is Spencer Dinwiddie? I want to see how long he's been in the league for. I feel like he's been in the league for a good amount of time, has some experience being in the postseason, is originally from Los Angeles, so something to keep in mind there. Let's see Dinwiddie. He's 30 years old. Yeah, he's got about 10 years of experience in the league. He's played for a number of teams, Detroit, Brooklyn, Washington, Dallas, and then Brooklyn again. And it looks like there's a very good chance that he's going to end up with the Los Angeles Lakers. But you know, I as far as how I think he could affect the Lakers, I think they're just bringing in. First off, I do think they need a backup point guard. They don't really have somebody that could come off the bench, and he's not your traditional point guard, but he is a bucket getter. He can go be kind of instant offense for you. And I do think that the Lakers are putting themselves in a position where it seems like he's going to be on this team. You know, one thing you can't argue about the Lakers, they got talent. You know, I don't think anybody can argue, are the Lakers talented or are they not talented? They definitely have talent. I think the question just comes down to the Lakers. It's more, how often are they focused? How often are they coming out hungry? Is that toughness? I hate having to question that part of the Lakers, but I feel like I have to. Okay, let me get through some of these comments real quick that are all about Dinwiddie. Will signing Dinwiddie improve the team? Max, appreciate the super there. Will signing Dinwiddie improve the team? I think it's definitely an improvement. And I'll tell you this, it's not going to hurt the Lakers. I think they can use a player like that. So if you're asking me the question, if I think he'll be effective, no question about it. I think he will be effective. Okay. Let me try to get through as many of these as I can. Francis says, D'Lo just told Jovan Bull we'll see Dinwiddie soon. I think it sounds like that's going to happen. Does Dinwiddie play defense? I haven't seen him much. Not really much of a defensive stopper. It doesn't mean he can't play D, but I don't think he's known in this league for being a defensive player. He's going to be more offensive oriented. But I do think that the Lakers are probably looking at Dinwiddie from a couple different perspectives. Gabe Vincent, who knows if he's going to come back? And it makes me actually think the probably likelihood of Gabe Vincent coming back, maybe not that likely if it's that important to go get a backup point guard. All right, that's how much a starting point guard impacts the game. DLo and Spencer backcourt with Reeves at 6-man. I think they're going to keep their starters as is. By the way, I don't mind them playing with the starters that they have right now, even with Rui in there. I don't think that's a terrible idea. It's the first time we're really getting to see Rui have a little bit of an opportunity. Dinwiddie was also sitting behind the Mavericks bench the other day. You're right. So when he got traded from Brooklyn, I think the Mavs were either in New York or they were taking on the Nets. No, I think they were in New York. And he did sit behind the bench there too. You're right. You're not wrong about that. But for him to fly out all the way to L.A., I know he's from here, be sitting with Rob Pelinka, and to have different reports out there basically saying, hey, there's a good chance he's going to come, or at least it's coming down to these two teams. Now I think at this point, because this was so front and center and obvious, I'm just assuming Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be a Los Angeles Laker. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm assuming here. Okay, good work here, Sam. We got a lot of Dinwiddie stuff here. See a couple more of these here on Dinwiddie. Let me see what I got here. Mavs are trash and not contenders. Dinwiddie would be best as a Laker who are contenders. Ohio Lakers 513. Thank you, my brother, for being a part of the show. Just a quick heads up. They are in front of the Lakers in the standings. I just want you to know that. I know it's not by a lot, but they are in front of the Lakers. They've won 3 games in a row. They're 6 games over 500. Lakers are 2 games over 500. I would probably say it's safe to say that at this point, through 54 games, I think it is, neither of these teams are playing like contenders. So I don't think it's coming down to, I think it's going to come down to him. Yes, for his role, that's going to be important. And let's put it this way. I think if we had to make a guess, who do you think would go further? The Lakers or the Mavs? You had to put money on it. I'd put my money on thinking LeBron and Anthony Davis will go further. But hell, these two teams could potentially be playing in the play-in tournament, playing each other just to see who gets out of the play-in tournament and gets into the playoffs. You're getting him on a discount. Yeah, the buyout market definitely is, and that's the only route that the Lakers can take now. You know, we already heard from Rob Pelinka, and we heard from him in regards to why they didn't do anything in the summer, and why they didn't do anything and why they're looking into the summer. So that's something to keep in mind there. And Pelinka was saying it yesterday that he believes the only thing that they can do now is obviously work that market. All right. I got my picks. Chags, I'm putting all my money on you, brother. All my money on you. So I'm going to submit my underdog fantasy picks here real quick. Chags is telling me to go Mahomes under, Christian McCaffrey over. So lower there. Oh, and I lost my picks. You know, it's funny. I was looking at this earlier. So lower there. And then Christian McCaffrey, he said go higher here. All right, I'm going to submit it. I was about to go lower on both, but I'll take that. I actually think Patrick Mahomes will, passing yards, he'll be under that. So I think that will actually happen. So I appreciate it. I'll keep you guys posted, and I'm going to need you now to make it happen, brother. I'm going to need you now to make it happen. Okay. Couple more of these comments here, and then there's a few other things that I want to talk about that are a little bit more just about the state of the Lakers and where they're sitting right now. DLo is going to torch teams in the playoffs. Let's actually use this one. Same one. DLo will be lethal in the playoffs. Young Jay, I appreciate the super. I don't think we could say that until it actually happens. I really, really believe that. I really believe that Laker fans are always going to be hesitant until we get into the playoffs, and then you see him doing it. I'll tell you what, I'd have more confidence in him this year than I did the following year. I think now being more comfortable, I feel like kind of not giving a flying you-know-what anymore. I don't know what changed, but I'd feel much more confident this summer, or I'm sorry, this playoff round than last playoff round. Okay, somebody was trying to tell me Lakers in the standings. So here's where the Lakers are. They're 28-26, so still the number 9 spot, but the game was kind of critical because you would have been 5 games back of the Pelicans if you lost tonight. They're at number 7. Instead, by winning tonight, you're 3 games back. 3 games back is not a lot. You're 2 back from Dallas, 3 games back from New Orleans. So that win was 9. It's also actually 4 out of your last 5 games that the Lakers have won. You're in front of Utah by a game and a half. You're in front of the Warriors by a game and a half. So you kind of needed all of this if you were the Lakers tonight. So that part's good. Here's the one thing I will say, and Sammy and I were talking about this a little bit before we got on. And one of the things to keep in mind now with the Lakers is they got 2 games left here before the All-Star break. Why do I feel like it's very, 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 very important that they win both of these games? Does it feel like that to you? Because the Lakers, I know, will beat the Pistons and then lose at Utah on Wednesday, which would be the final game before the All-Star break. That's kind of the Lakers I know so far this year. But if they won both of those games, the Pistons should be a layup, even though Pistons have won 2 games in a row, should be a layup. And then if they won at Utah, you'll go into the break having won 6 of your last 7 games. That's impressive. Winning 6 of 7 going into the break, I think would be impressive. And you got some positive news on Cam Reddish. It sounds like Vando is going to miss time, but he's not going to need surgery. Well, that's positive news right there. Max Christie will eventually come back. 6 of 7 going into the break feels like a very, very important thing for the Lakers to accomplish. So let's see if, obviously the Lakers are going to be able to do that, but that's kind of on the horizon for them. This is where they are right now, and I do feel like these next 2 games are going to be critical. Okay, a few more comments. And then a quick one on the Lakers and the Pistons, and then we could go from there. Will be nice. They win both upcoming games. No question about that. Okay. Who's next on your Lakers talk? Okay, so Hoops Talk, by the way, not Lakers Talk. Lakers Talk is radio. Hoops Talk is YouTube. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to have, we were just talking about him right now. I've been doing that Hoops Talk weekly. So my guest tomorrow is going to be Jovan. So Jovan Buha of The Athletic's going to come on. He's an interesting kid. I got to be honest with you. I was working with him a little bit when he was still with ESPN. He's got a really, really bright future. I mean, you're starting to see his name pop up a lot. He's in a lot of rumors. He's done a good job of grabbing some information at key moments. I see his name kind of intertwined with names like Shams at certain points. So he's doing his thing. So I'm going to bring on Jovan tomorrow. We're going to have a good conversation about a little bit about him, his career, and then we'll talk Lakers basketball. So I'll probably post that tomorrow later in the day, sometime in the afternoon. So keep an eye out for that. And appreciate you asking, David. Appreciate you asking on that one. Okay, next game for the Lakers. By the way, roll call. Feel free to put any comments that you have. Just tell me where you're tuning in from. The city, the state, the country. It doesn't matter. Feel free to do so. It's always great to see where everybody's tuning in from. I'll do my best to try to give you guys a shout out here. So next game for the Lakers, they host the Pistons, as I mentioned. Look at Detroit. This is with, I don't mean to laugh here, but it's kind of funny. They're 8-43, and that's with a 2-game winning streak. That's with them winning 4 of their last 10 games. What the hell's going on with the Pistons? Let me look into this a little bit more. They've won 4 of 10. I mean, we all know they had that losing streak. They started the season out 2-1, and then how many did they lose in a row? I don't know. It was let's see, how many did they lose in a row? 28 games in a row that they lost. So they've won 4. Let's see who they beat. They beat Charlotte in a game. They beat OKC in a game. They beat Sacramento in a game. They beat Portland in overtime. Okay, Detroit. Maybe we shouldn't sleep on the Pistons here for a quick second. 8-43. It's a pathetic record, but they have won 4 of 10, so give them credit there. Lakers need to do some real damage to the Detroit Pistons coming up in what is that going to be? Not till Tuesday. So kind of odd here. The Lakers have 3 days off. 3 days off in between here. So that's incredibly impressive. Okay. Colorado Springs, Rochester, New York, University of Newcastle, Highland Park in the house. Diamond Bar, Italy, thank you very much for tuning in. Philippines, thank you for being a part of the show. Dubai, Temple City, Syracuse, Utah, New York in the house, Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Wesley, get your drink on, bro. Friday night, Redondo Beach in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. New Jersey, somebody is at the San Diego State basketball. Man, what a choke job by San Diego State earlier today. Come on, SDSU. Game went into overtime, had a chance, should have won in regulation, ended up losing. The hell is wrong with you guys? Every time this school, Sammy, figure out what's wrong with our school. Every time they crack the top 25, I think they were ranked number 24. They lose to Nevada. Every time they crack the top 25, they lose. The hell are they doing? Oregon in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Lakers better not sleep on the Pistons. I'm with you on that. Don't be too shocked. Little Italy, San Diego. Thank you for being a part of the show. Wilshire Street. What else we got here? Beverly Hills, but not where the mansions are. Okay. I don't believe you. I think you're being humble. Tokyo in the house. Seaside, California. Thailand in the house. Appreciate you being in. Listen, if I miss you guys, feel free to put it in the comments. It is a long-ass week. I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say I am tired as hell. That's all I got for tonight. Lakers handle business. Solid, what do we get? 44 minutes tonight. We'll take it. Lakers over the Pelicans, 139-122. Obviously, a good win for the Lake Show. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. They got 2 games left before the All-Star break. Their starters were incredible tonight. So let's enjoy this win. Hope you guys all enjoy your weekend. Hope you enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. I'll get back with you guys. I'm going to have a video posted tomorrow. I did mention that. And then Monday, I'll have Lakers talk on radio. I'll have Travis and Sleewa show. And then Tuesday, we'll get back to Lakers basketball. So, Laker fans, I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys have a good weekend as well. Give a shout out to Sammy, who is working his, off in the background there. So, Sammy, thank you for your work in the background there. And we're going to get to everybody here over the next couple of days. We'll have some more content up. Jovan Buha will be a part of the show tomorrow. We'll do a little one-on-one action with him. And basically, I just kept talking to get to 45 minutes because I was at 44 minutes. And I was like, well, if I just go another minute, then I could get to 45 minutes. And I got to 45. Thank you, Lake fans. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks, Lake fans.